Alright, check this out. You guys are back on the Hater World and I'm Blue Devil. What we got going on today is a video of the alleged murderer of Takeoff from the Migos. I guess he tried to get a passport and flee to Mexico but got busted. So before we get into that video, if you guys are new to the Hater World, make sure you go over, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, like the video, and most importantly, leave me a comment down below and let me know if you like what I'm doing or whether you don't. And salute to all my day ones. You guys already know, nothing but love. But check this out. This video was sent to my Instagram. If you don't already follow me, make sure you do so at TheHaterWorld and get all the behind the scenes footage. In this video here is the news reporter talking about Takeoff and talking about the alleged suspect that got busted trying to flee. So with no further ado, let's give you guys a Southsider's reaction. Let's go.
The man arrested and charged in the death of Migos rapper Takeoff appeared before a judge a short time ago. Houston police say Patrick Xavier Clark is the person who pulled the trigger outside of a downtown bowling alley. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live outside of the Harris County Jail with new information in this case. Bryce.
Brendan, the suspect in Takeoff's murder was supposed to appear in court sometime in the 7 o'clock hour, but it just happened in the last 10 minutes or so. We're told that he entered the courtroom in an orange jumpsuit surrounded by 7 police officers.
Check this out. Let this video here work as a scare straight tactic for the kids. Listen, all you kids out there watching that think this gang life is glamorous and think that you get points for being cool with the homies and think that at the end of the journey there's gonna be a pot of gold and a bunch of badass bitches. Let me tell you something. Look at that fool by himself. Look at him. You don't see nobody else around him. Where is the mob ties? Where is the connections with all his homeboys? All I see is him and a bunch of pigs. Salute to the real cops. You know, real honest cops. But if you're a pig, not a salute to you. But look at him by himself. You know, at the end of the day, every man for himself. Every man for himself. Even if you're from a gang, you know, you can only do as much for your homies as they want to do for themselves. You know, but let this be a message. At the end of the day, bro, you were born alone and you will die alone. Okay? But let's keep going.
And tonight, prosecutors are asking for him to be held on a $1 million bail. Tonight, 33-year-old Patrick Xavier Clark is accused of murdering Migos rapper Takeoff more than a month ago outside a private party at a downtown bowling alley.
More than entertainer, he was a son, a brother, cousin, and a friend, and a mentor to those in the music industry.
And let's not forget, legendary, Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame artist. And I don't say that to be on nobody's nuts, but just the fact that he was part of a big group that really did change the way of the music industry, did change a lot of the way music was rapped, sung, whatever you want to call it, really made a big impact. You know, legendary. You know, not my cup of tea, but I know how legendary this group is or was. You know, so let's not forget that. But let's keep going.
Afternoon, Houston Police Chief Troy Finner announced Clark's arrest alongside Mayor Sylvester Turner and investigators disclosing new details about what led up to the shooting.
There was a lucrative dice game that went on at the event. There was an argument that happened afterwards outside the bowling alley, which led to the shooting. I can tell you that Takeoff was not involved in playing in the dice game. He was not involved in the argument that happened outside. He was not armed. He was an innocent bystander.
In asking for...
Did you hear what happened? Being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now the judge is asking for $1 million bail for this guy. Let's see if his homeboys come through. Let's see who wants to put up the house. Let's see who wants to put up the Bentley. Let's see who wants to pay $1 million up front. Listen, a bail bondsman is only asking for 10%. You know, sometimes even less. And they might even take that 10% in payments. You know, 10% of $1 million is what, 100 G's? So somebody got to put up 100 G's and the house, you know, or a property or something. I bet you ain't nobody going to do it. I bet you ain't nobody going to do it. This guy is just one of those guys that you keep around to do shit like that. He's one of the shooters. And now he's a shooter. And now he's facing consequences for being the shooter. And this is what happens. You can't feel bad for this guy. You can't cry for this guy. It's part of the game. You win some, you lose some. Now, if he would have got away with this, then guess what? He would have had a story to tell for the rest of his life. He would have been looked upon a hero amongst his homies. Amongst his homies. Not amongst the masses or the people that love Takeoff. You know, we tend to praise the shooter instead of the victim. But here, Takeoff was an innocent bystander that was just there minding his business, having a good time, and got popped. But then again, you can't feel bad for Takeoff either. See, listen, Takeoff is around gang activity, whether you like it or not. Mob ties is gang activity. Alleged, you know. Let's not play stupid, right? So if you're around motherfuckers that tote pistols, play dice, and are with the business, you can't cry if something doesn't go your way. It's like if I go with my homeboy. I said it in my previous video. I was with my homeboy. He did some dumb shit. If we would have got busted, we would have been in prison. I tried to make the homie go with me, and if I would have tried anymore, he probably would have pulled the gun on me. You know, it's just part of the game. So you can't feel bad for nobody playing the game. But let's keep going.
$1 million bond. Court documents show prosecutors consider Clark a flight risk, revealing that he applied for an expedited passport after the November 1st murder and had plans to travel to Mexico. Police arrested him Thursday with a
Check it out. This is the part that I read online somewhere. He was trying to get a passport to go to Mexico, right? And I read a lot of comments of people being dumb as shit, saying, for one, you don't need a passport to go to Mexico. People were saying that, right? They were also saying you do need a passport. They were also saying that you can drive across, and they were talking about cartels, this, and this. A bunch of mumbo jumbo. I used to live in Mexico, okay? I used to cross into Mexico almost every day, okay? One, you don't need a passport to drive through. You don't need a passport to walk through. You don't even need a passport to come back to the USA. You don't even need a passport to drive back into the USA. Okay? All these things are manageable if you know how to do it. Okay? You don't need none of that. The easiest thing is to cross into Mexico. Okay? When you cross into Mexico, depending what border crossing you're going through, there's a red light and a green light. A red light means secondary. A green light means go, you're free, right? The only time they make a red light is either you look suspicious or you got a huge load behind you, a trailer, a truck, you're hauling a car, some shit like that. If it's a red light and it's just you, it's very simple to bypass that. You put $100 on your lap, or you go into your trunk to show the officer what you got in the trunk, and magically there's $100 laying there. Okay? Boom. That's not hard at all. Now, people be like, well, the cartels, this and this. Listen, my boy, listen. The cartels are not interested in people that are not playing the game. Okay? Now, if you go around flossing your money and showing it to the world, then you got a problem. But what you do is you hide all your money and you have about $500 in your wallet. So when you do get fucked with, they take what you have and they let you go. But these are tricks of the trade. And there's many, many, many more. But as far as having to worry about cops robbing you and taking your money, only if you're doing some weirdo shit, you're going to get pulled over. But if you cross into Mexico, you get a nice little spot, you make some little moves, and you're planning out your next departure, you should be good to go. You don't need a passport to go into Mexico. That would have got you busted. But to each their own. Maybe I'll give you guys some tips and tricks on that, and which border crossing is the easiest, there and back. But let's keep going.
amount of cash. Police also arrested 22-year-old Cameron Joshua, caught on video with a weapon at the after party, and charged him with unlawful carrying of a weapon. Police say the investigation isn't close to over. And we are still learning more details as this hearing unfolds in the building behind me here. In fact, we're told that there was video that actually captured Clark pointing the gun at Takeoff. Also, video of him fleeing the scene. Of course, these are details just developing right now, and we'll continue to keep you updated. The suspect.
So there was video of the Takeoff murder. Listen, I guarantee you it's from a building like across the way. It wasn't probably from the restaurant or nothing like that. It was probably from like a building that way or that way. You know, people need to be cautious nowadays. You know, sometimes I'll be on the street and I'll see cameras all over the place. I'll be like, damn, like it's hard for a crook right now. Either you don't give a fuck or you're super, super smart like a ninja or some shit. Because back in the day, even without cameras, fools be getting busted all day long. Now imagine doing the crime with cameras all over the place. You know, you got the Ring doorbells, you got the motion sensors, you got the satellites. It's fucking wild. It's fucking wild. But let's keep going. I think I got a few more seconds.
Is due back in court on Monday. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Bryce Newberry.
It's over. Salute to Takeoff. Rest in peace, my boy. But when you play the game, shit happens. You know, this crook or this murderer, alleged murderer, is probably going to do life in prison. Probably going to regret that shit. And mob ties will probably forget about him, you know, 6 months in. Listen, I'm not the one to tell you what to do, what not to do. If you want to join a gang, go for it. You know, I'm not the channel to try to talk peace. You know, I'm just here reacting to a video. But if you join a gang, like I said before, go full-fledged. Go full throttle. Don't half-step. Don't do it at all. You know, but this fool right here killed Takeoff. It's just wrong. You know, you don't get points for killing a nobody. When I mean a nobody, I mean somebody that's not trying to be with the business. Even though Takeoff was a street dude, you know, he wasn't how can I say, he wasn't beefing with you at that point or disrespecting you or calling you out or wanting that smoke. So for you to kill somebody that don't want that smoke makes you a bully, and nobody likes a bully, you know. But fuck it, we're gonna kill this video. We're laying, call it a day. This fool won't get bail. Maybe he will, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think he will. If he does, it would be a surprise. But I'll tell you like this, nobody wants to put up their name or sign for somebody. Nobody wants to go and sign over the mom's house or pay a milli and then this fool fucking flees and you're stuck having to pay the debt. Nobody wants to do that. None of your homies. The homies don't. The only probably one that will do is your family and your loved ones. But, you know, do they got that kind of money? You know? At the end of the day, bro, like I said earlier, you're born alone and you die alone. So fuck it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm Blue Devil. This has been a TheHaterWorld production. And we out.